Hey, welcome everyone. This is Mike from zozostockwatch.com, and this is going to be your stock watch list and market talk for the 20th Thursday of December. Let's go ahead and get into it. Normally, I make my videos at night, but I had a Christmas party that I went to, so I'm going to do it this morning. It's currently about 5:15 Eastern Time, my time. Um, Investors responded to the rate decision yesterday, and the Dow reversed course. The Dow ended up down 352 points, the S&P 500 down 39 points, and the Nasdaq down 147 points. The Fed raised rates a quarter of a point. Some of the comments, I guess, coming out from the Fed, they said they will do two more rate hikes in 2019 instead of three. And basically, the Fed is taking away the free money that we've had for a while. They feel they need to do this to slow the economy, keep things in check. As far as the S&P 500, we have 150 stocks that are down 20% or more. So that's about 30% of the S&P. 50% of the S&P are currently down about 10% or more, and that's just in the last month for the S&P. So as you can see yesterday on this intraday chart of the SPY, uh, so basically we had buying coming in to the market prior to the announcement. Then the announcement came out and they just jammed us down for the rest of the day in the SPY. So we were intraday trading this. When the market was popping right here, we were doing trades on Square. We got a nice trade on Square for a $1 gainer. We also intraday we shorted J&J, so we got a nice short on J&J. A couple of other things that we traded yesterday at the service at Zozo Stockwatch. We had ADIL was a strong small one. ADIL, we got into that at 370 and it moved up to 416. We traded Tivix yesterday, and that was pretty much it. And then, as you can see, the market trailed off for the rest of the day. Now, a lot of folks, now you can see this is the uh, after hours here. So this 2500 250 number is the most important number that we're watching right now to see if that's going to hold on the SPY. If we take a look at the SPX on our weekly chart now, we're down about 15% now from the highs on the SPX. So about 2300 area puts us back down to about that 20% correction, and on the weekly chart would take us down to about the 200 SMA. The 200 SMA on the weekly chart for the SPX is at 2347, so we'll call it 2350. So that is a spot that maybe we could be headed to, that 2300 area. That would give us the 20% correction in the markets. So yesterday, after the Fed raised rates, the dollar got stronger, and that moved gold down. So Nugget and JNUG moved down. The SMH was down over 4% for the day yesterday. KWEB, which is the Internet China ETF, that was down over 3% for the day. The Dow was down 3%. The transport's down 3%. OIH, the oil services sector, was down almost 3% for the day. To the upside, you did have oil moving up 3% yesterday. The light sweet crude oil was up over 3%. USO was up over 2%, which is the ETF for light sweet crude oil. The TLT was up, and as you can see, the dollar, the UUP gained some strength there. The VIX itself ended up with a 25 handle. Now, because I'm doing this video in the morning, I'll go ahead and bring over the commodities for this morning. So as you can see, gold is up a little bit this morning. Gold is up $3. Silver is up a little bit. Copper is down about 0.75% this morning. Crude oil itself now is giving back those gains from yesterday. So light sweet crude oil currently trading back at $46.62, down about $1.55, down about 3% this morning so far. As far as the futures go for this morning, we have the Dow futures down about 7, the S&P futures down about half a point, the Nasdaq futures are up about 5. So that's the futures currently. So let's go ahead and take a look also at some of the sectors yesterday. Everything pretty much got hit yesterday. The XOP, the oil and gas exploration. We've got to move this. There we go. The XME, we'll start there. That was down the worst. The metals and mining were down 4% for the day yesterday. The XBI was down over 3%. As you can see, pretty much red across the board. The strongest thing yesterday was the XLU. That was down fractionally. That's the utilities sector. As far as the Dow Jones 30 yesterday, your biggest loser on the Dow was Intel was down almost 5% on the day. Apple was down 3% on the day. Everything was pretty much down 3, 2, and then as we go down and we flip it back up, the only stock that was green percentage-wise for the day was Verizon Flight to Safety, up fractionally for the day. Some top stocks that were down yesterday, you had MU Micron down 8% for the day yesterday, and Facebook took a hit. Selling your data, I guess, was the news out of the New York Times. So that was down 7%. TLRY also dropped 7%. AMD was down 6%. So that's some of the names that I follow. So you can see the carnage that happened in the market. To the upside, yesterday we had TWLO was up fractionally, and SQM, which I believe is involved with lithium, was up fractionally. So that's basically a couple of the stocks that were up yesterday. So this is what spooked the market yesterday. The Fed failed to sound like it was ready to pull back from its tighter policy path as much as the market expected. So, they didn't get the verbiage that they wanted, the market, and that's what set the selling. They raised the rate hike 0.25% for the Fed, and stocks plummeted through the new lows of the year as investors flocked to bonds after the Fed failed to sound like it was easing off the tighter policy path as much as markets expected. So that was the drawdown yesterday. All right, Jerome Powell, he did a press conference yesterday. The market didn't like what it heard, and they sold us off. Let's go ahead and look at some of the news that came out after the bell last night. Not good for SPPI investors. This stock, the U.S. Food and Drug Administration, did not grant breakthrough therapy designation for this one. So after hours last night, SPPI dropped from about 10.50 all the way down to 6 on that one. Mankind announced a public offering from Mankind, so this stock moved down. Once again, this news is courtesy of the trade exchange. Let's see, GLBS is a shipper, announced a 13.5 million closing of a 13.5 million loan for GLBS. Let's see if there was any other news that came out last night after the bell. Looks like it was pretty quiet. We did get some top insider purchases that came out after the bell last night. We had LCII, MET director purchased over 6,000 shares for MET. EGLE, they're a shipper, so they had an insider purchase of over 1 million shares on that one, EGLE. So that's some of the news that came out last night. By the way, in the overnight, the Senate passes a stopgap bill averting the government shutdown from last night. As far as some unusual options activity, we had ZIOP with unusual call activity, DVMT. The VIX was getting call activity, OMC call activity, unusual call activity, and a small oil stock, WMB, unusual call activity there, SGMS, MLNX. To the put side, TXN and Celgene both had unusual put activity. This, once again, courtesy of the trade exchange. So some stocks that I would have on my watch for today, ADIL held up pretty well. Like I said, we got an intraday trade on this one on ADIL. Another one I would be watching is ADRO. You can see 7.2 million shares came into ADRO. They're trying to bounce it up off the bottom. Let's check it out in the after hours last night. So this stock trading at 305 currently. Another stock that I'll be watching for today is this CAAS. This stock big volume, expanding volume came into this stock, popped it up to about $3. We'll see if there's any kind of pullback or continuation move in CAAS. CCIH made a continuation move in the after hours last night. Big, strong move up here, 1.1 million shares on CCIH. This is a China internet stock, so big move up there on this name on CCIH. Another name I'll be watching for a bounce is CGC, some of the pot stocks. Last night, Tilray moved up. Evidently, Bud got involved with them, Budweiser. Let me bring over that news for you from the trade exchange. Sorry, I forgot to mention it. So we had Budweiser. So ABEV, which is the old Budweiser, and Tilray announced a research partnership, all right, focused on non-alcohol, THC, and CBD beverages. So that's the old Budweiser and Tilray. So that moved TLRY up in the after hours last night. So this one will be on watch. The other one that will be on watch is NBEV. All right, because NBEV might move on that news also, so that'll be on watch. Another name that I'll be watching is CORT. Now, this thing had patent news last week. It popped all the way up to over $19. It's been pulling back. Let's see if the 50 SMA area can hold on that CORT. If the pot stocks are strong, I'll be watching CRON, Cronus Group will be on my watch. Believe it or not, General Electric will be on my watch. This one held up very well yesterday. INOV was getting some buying yesterday. The daily chart holding up pretty well here, INOV, so I'll be watching that. MRIN had a very strong day yesterday, so I'll be looking for an intraday entry on this stock. As you can see, held most of the gains for the day yesterday. NBEV we talked about. NXTD was trying to come up off the bottom. If you're looking for an under $1 name, keep your eye on this NXTD. Another name under $1, OGEN was getting some notice yesterday, was popping up, so I'll keep OGEN on watch. RKDA was moving up in the after hours last night, RKDA, so keep an eye on that. And UXIN has been very strong. And yesterday, when the market was selling off, this thing was unbelievable. Beast mode, just kept moving up and held all those gains on this UXIN, another China name. So this one will be on watch on that name. XBit also was very strong. Biotech name, volume in this thing. Only 364,000 shares, so a little bit light in the volume. So XBIT though, I'll have it on watch to see if there's any kind of move in it. And then I'll also be watching this morning my scans, my trade ideas scans for momentum stocks, news from the trade exchange for stocks that might give us some plays during the intraday day. Now, as far as swing trades go, very hard to do some swing trades right now. A lot of things have taken hits. I'm going to be basically bargain hunting like everybody else, watching things like FedEx, for a possible reversal or a UPS, things like that, for possible reversal. The other thing I'll be watching for is earnings plays. All right. So before the bell today, we have BlackBerry, BB symbol there, will be reporting, and then Nike reports earnings after the bell on today, Thursday. So BlackBerry, Nike might be in play. Carnival Cruise Lines might be in play. Their earnings come out before the bell on Thursday. Friday, you have CarMax. All right. So this is Mike from zozostockwatch.com doing an early morning video. Sorry about missing my video last night, and I hope everybody has a good day trading tomorrow, and we'll be back at it with another video.